never to see the sunlight or smell the fresh air. Your amusement is their abusement. A huge percentage of animals are regularly dying here. This place is immoral and completely unacceptable.
Get out. Let me prove my
These sentient beings include fish, sharks, penguins, frogs, to name a few.
I'm not one of them.
They're ripped away from their families, their natural habitat. They're stared at. There's flash photography. They're humiliated and touched by screaming children and exploited for this profit-driven corporation. These animals and fish are confined to unnatural conditions and deprived of their natural instincts to hunt for food, who they can mate with, and the thousands of miles in which they can explore. The fish and animals will never go home. How would you feel if this was your child or dog enslaved? Sea life regularly breeds sharks, and so on. But none are never released. The massive conservation programs are a huge moneymaker and take away money from the genuine conservation projects. Sea Life is not a rescue centre, it's a profit-driven corporation. Sea Life have many investigations, including the BBC, which made news headlines revealing the shocking death rate as well as the endless suffering and injuries the animals endured. Other investigations from the Freedom Animal Justice Project include reports of endless suffering, including signs of abnormal behaviour, showing depression, self-mutilation, repetitive...
Think about the animals too. Think about the animals too. Don't exploit animals. Leave this place.
Self-mutilation, suffering, mental cycles of despair and so forth. These sentient fish and animals feel everything. A killer whale died here within hours of captive after being given too many tranquilizers. A dolphin here died in a partially drained tank. Green turtles repetitively swimming back and forth while pressing their flippers against the walls of the tank, desperately trying to escape.
Let us finish.
Thus the giant gourami fish, alone and confined in a small tank, whereas in the wild he'd explore large lakes and rivers. The penguins here, the penguins on display, no access to fresh air or natural light in a small pool and a painting on the wall of their home. Absolutely disgusting and heartbreaking. These penguins should be in the Antarctic and not trapped in an underground cage filled with fake snow and fake light. The reports are endless here. Many animals and fish die from poor husbandry, negligence, accidents, diseases, congenital defects, inexperienced staff. Let's not forget the many fish, animals that are delivered and arrive here dead or injured or dumped into bins and disregarded like rubbish. Please stop funding such suffering, exploitation, ghetto,
Don't touch.
and death on these beautiful
You already abuse
creatures.
animals. Don't abuse us.
They don't deserve here. They
You
want
abuse
to go
animals.
home.
They want to go home.
You fund them. You fund them.
Send the animals home. Send the animals home. Send the animals home.
Don't touch me again.
You don't abuse animals. You don't abuse us. Stop abusing. That's what you do to the animals, right? You just take them away from their babies. You take them away from their parents.
We'll listen to it. It's okay. It's good what you're doing. We'll do it outside,
So let people hear it, right?
but not here.
Right, we are protesting.
Yeah.
We have the right to protest. The animals are brought here by you people like this, held like this.
Outside, we'll do it.
You are treating us like you treat them, like your slaves. Shame on you. Don't touch me. Don't touch me at all. You're touching me. I don't want to be touched.
Let's go
I
outside.
don't want to be touched.
With security.
I want my own.
We're allowed to escort you out.
You don't touch me.
We're allowed to escort you out. We're allowed to escort you out. Come on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let's
You
go.
are just disturbing me. You are troubling me and the animals. Stop doing this to animals. You handle them like what is this? You harm them. You agree? Yeah, but stop doing this. Join us and protest against this. How would you feel if it was your child inside? If it were your child.
Not an excuse
Please,
for
just do it
animal
outside.
abuse.
I hate this.
It's animal abuse for animal abuse. There's no excuse for animal abuse. There's no excuse for animal abuse. There's no excuse for animal abuse. There's no excuse. Stop. No, there's no excuse for what you're doing to the animals. Why do you do this to them? Don't buy their tickets. They separate babies from mothers. They treat them as prisoners. They harm them psychologically. These animals are broken and depressed. Shame on you and shame on Sealife for doing this to animals. You have no right to abuse them. You have no right to abuse them for your money and entertainment. Shame on you. Can't you have fun watching cinema instead? Do you have to abuse animals and trap them? You have to imprison them instead. Set them free. Have some shame. What if you were in the cage? What if you were put in the cage? What if your babies were separated from you and put in that cage? How would you feel? Shameless human beings. Leave Sealife and leave the animals alone. Leave the animals alone. No, you have no right to fuck with animals. You fuck with them. Shame on you. What do you think? They're your properties? You treat others like a slave, like your properties. Like they're made to entertain you. You separate babies from moms. You break families. You make them homeless. You make them suffer in cages. You abuse them mentally. They're broken, depressed, and diseased. They're ill and they need to be free. What if it was you? What if you were the ones who were trapped? How would you feel? Don't you have empathy and emotions? Have some emotions for animals and boycott Sealife. You don't need this ticket. Go to a cinema. Why do you want to go and watch animals in cages? Are you sadists? Do you feel happy to see others trapped? What if human beings were trapped inside? How would you feel? Are you a sadist? Don't be a sadist. Boycott Sealife. Don't trap animals in cages. This is no way to enjoy yourself. Making others feel harmed. You don't touch my phone. How dare you? You have no right. Oh, you only care about your life. What about the animals you abuse? You think you have the right? You have no right to abuse anyone. You have no rights. Animals don't want to live here. They don't want to die here. It's sea death, not Sealife. It's their lives. It's their lives, not yours. It's their babies, not yours. It's their freedom, not yours. They deserve freedom. You are upset because of a sound, of a voice. How do they feel? You only care about your ears. You only care about your inconvenience. You are selfish. Selfish people care only about themselves. They're shameless humans. They never feel embarrassed or ashamed to harm others. It's only them who should be safe and protected. Only they should have rights. Those animals, they think they're their toys. These animals are not your toys. There's no excuse for animal abuse.
Sealife is not an excuse. It's not entertainment.
It's violent. Boycott Sealife. Boycott animal abuse. Boycott Sealife. Boycott animal abuse. Boycott Sealife.
The giant gourami fish, alone and confined in a small tank. In the wild, he'd explore in large lakes and rivers. The penguins, keep your eye for the penguins today. The penguins being held on display. No access to fresh water or natural light. In a small pool with a painting of their home on the wall. This is absolutely disgusting and unacceptable. The reports here are endless. Many animals and fish here die from poor husbandry, negligence, inexperienced staff, congenital defects, accidents and diseases. Let's not forget the many fish and animals that are delivered here arrive already dead or injured and are dumped in bins and disregarded like rubbish. Please, people, stop funding such suffering, exploitation and death on these beautiful creatures. They don't exist here and they want to go home. But you fund to keep them imprisoned for your selfish entertainment. Instead, educate yourselves and your children with compassion and also watch wildlife programs in their natural habitat or read books, etc. And so to all the forgotten that have died here and will die here at the selfish hands of humans will never find you. Till all are free and justice will be served, the fish and animals want to go home. We see you, we hear you, we love you. We'll now take a minute's silence in memory of the forgotten.